Hey, it's Ash from Revolution Me, and this video is about angry vegans. And I'm putting my hand up and I'm saying that I am proud to be an angry vegan. And that's what this video is all about. So there's been a lot of talk in the vegan community, especially the YouTube vegan community, about angry vegans. And I think some people think that the angry vegans are turning other people away from veganism, from pursuing a kind and ethical and compassionate lifestyle. Now, I'm here to say that we need angry vegans, and that's why I'm part of the angry vegan movement. Now, I have done a video on anger, so I'm not going to talk too much about anger per se. Let me just say that anger is a really healthy and natural emotion, especially when you're a vegan, because this entire planet, 99% of the planet, seems hell-bent on destroying the animals, destroying people's health, and destroying the environment. And when you're in the minority, when you're in that less than 1% of people who actually care about animals, and you want to see an end to animal suffering, you want to see an end to animal slavery and cruelty and torture and murder, then yeah, we get angry. It's understandable. If you're part of any kind of social justice movement, then anger is a natural emotion to have. And if anyone tells you that anger is wrong, then they're wrong. There is nothing wrong with feeling angry. Anger is a natural emotion. It lets you know that something that you stand for, some standard that you have, has been violated, whether that's by yourself or by others around you. So when it comes to vegans, of course, we believe in kindness and compassion, and when most of the planet engages or at least supports such horrible treatment of animals, then anger is a natural response. Now, I have done a video on anger, and I will link to that video in the description below. So after this one, please feel free and check that out. Now, some people say that vegans need to just focus on the positive aspects of veganism. And there are many benefits to veganism. I mean, it's better for the environment, it saves water, it liberates the use of grain to feed livestock, grain which can actually be used to feed humans. It reduces deforestation, it helps the animals, of course, and it's better for our health. There are so many benefits to veganism, and there are some people who suggest that we should only focus on those benefits. But there's another side to the coin, because we also need to talk about the consequences of a meat-eating diet. Now, a meat-eating diet is bad for the planet, it's bad for our health, and of course, it is bad for the animals. Now, here's the thing. One of the most well-known facets of human behavior is that humans are more motivated by pain than by pleasure. So what that means is humans will do more to avoid pain than to actually seek out pleasure. So we might be inspired by all the wonderful benefits of veganism, and we look at the vegan YouTubers and the Instagram and the Facebook posts, and we love the pictures of the food and all these meals that have been cooked and prepared. But that's not enough to get many people to change. Why? It's because the idea of going vegan is so scary. Because people don't like to change. Change is scary. Change is taking a step into the unknown, and for most people, veganism is a huge step into unknown territory. People like comfort, familiarity, and security. We like predictability. As humans, it's one of our basic needs, predictability. And the moment that we venture out trying something new, then we lose a lot of that stability and predictability. So the pain of going vegan is way more than the possible pleasure that could come out of it. And that's why people don't change. And this is why we need the angry vegans who focus on the negative consequences of consuming meat. This is why we need to see the graphic images of cows being forcibly penetrated and impregnated, and then their babies torn apart from them, and the mother and the child screaming for each other, and the baby chicks who are 1 day old being thrown into the grinder, their only crime being that they're male. We need to see the images of the pigs and the cows and the chickens with fear on their faces, waiting for slaughter, because they don't want to die. No living creature wants to die. There is no humane, kind, or compassionate way to kill a being who wants to live. And that is why we need angry vegans. Some people say that speaking about the atrocities in the animal exploitation industry is being angry. And you know what? If that's being an angry vegan, then yes, I am an angry vegan, because more people are motivated by pain than by pleasure. I can look at myself as an example. I was a rampant meat eater right up until 2008. And then I watched Earthlings. And Earthlings is what made me go vegan overnight. And of course I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back, after that moment, I could not consume animal products. It made me sick to my stomach. Now the idea of consuming animal products makes me feel sick, because the pain associated with animal products is way more than the momentary pleasure that I might derive from the way that flesh tastes. And these days we don't even need to sacrifice that pleasure, because there are so many substitutes for cheese, for yogurt, for dairy products, for eggs even these days, for meat. There are so many alternatives that we can still have our vegan burgers, our vegan sausages, we can still have our vegan cheese and our vegan ice cream. We can even have vegan eggs, and no animals have to suffer. Now I do need to say one thing, and that's bullying. Bullying has got nothing to do with veganism. In fact, I see bullying as being contrary to veganism, because there is nothing kind or compassionate about repeatedly and maliciously intimidating someone or berating or beating down on someone because of who they are or what they believe. So bullying is never okay. But too many people these days are too quick to jump to this label of bullying. Because these days, if someone is rude, that's labeled bullying. If someone is tactless or blunt, that's labeled bullying. If someone talks about the abomination that is the animal exploitation industry, that's labeled bullying. And none of those things are bullying. Even trolling, which to me, trolling is about being inflammatory. Now, trolling can sometimes be bullying, but not always. Simply making an inflammatory statement, simply making a comment or a criticism doesn't automatically constitute bullying. And we need to be really careful not to just say that someone's bullying just because we disagree with what it is that they're saying. Just because you don't like hearing about what's happening in the animal exploitation industries, it doesn't mean that that's bullying, and it doesn't mean that the person speaking those words is angry. There is nothing wrong with anger. It's what you do with the anger that counts. Being angry, it's simply an emotion, and it just lets you know that a standard that you hold for yourself and others has been violated. That is it. Anger is an extremely powerful emotion. It creates a lot of energy within us. And it's really important that when we feel angry, we channel that energy into doing something positive. It's important that we use our power for good and not for evil. Now, if that means raising awareness of what is actually happening in the world, that's not being an angry vegan. Just because someone disagrees with you, or just because someone doesn't want to hear it, doesn't want to see it, doesn't mean that it's bullying, and it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with that approach. Now look, if you are one of those people who is drawn towards the more inspirational kind of, love and benefit, and these are all the great things about veganism, if you're drawn to that, then more power to you, as long as you're vegan. But if you're not yet vegan, and if those inspirational messages are not doing it for you, then you need to start watching some of the other vegan YouTubers, or you need to start following some of the other vegans out there. Because I tell you what, as long as the pain of changing is greater than the pain of staying where you are never ever going to go vegan. And it's like that with any positive habit that we want to make in our lives. Now I'm going to wrap this video up here. And I know this video might piss some people off. This video might get some people angry. And remember, anger is okay. Do a bit of introspection. Why are you feeling angry? Is it because I'm talking about things that you'd rather not know about? Is it because you know that veganism is the way forward? Is it because you know that there is no logical reason to continue to eat animal products in this day and age? Is it because you know that it's hypocritical to say that you love animals and continue to eat them? It's a great time for personal growth, and it's a great time for personal change. I trust you enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think, and if you like what you heard, click the like button, subscribe to my channel. I talk about all things veganism, mental health, parenting, personal development. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.